Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Strike Gundam. And it is not the perfect Strike Gundam because, where is it? Right there. This is the one I got, and I'll tell you why. The perfect Strike Gundam figure has a whole bunch more accessories, but the figure itself is not as good as the original version. And I personally don't care for all of those extra accessories. It's already kind of crowded with the wings on the back and what he's got going on for this figure. So I opted for the less expensive and less clustered original version. And he is a really nice figure. I'm pretty happy to have him. If anybody knows what they're talking about here, please let me know, because I do not. I think this one's talking about the legs opening up and the little skirt panel being in the way. And this one, I don't know. I do not know what that one's referring to. And this one's talking about the knees and getting angles bent, and I don't know what they're actually talking about there. So if anybody can explain that to me, please do. I would appreciate it. I do not know everything about every figure, especially the Gundam ones, because I just started collecting these recently. Alright, so before we go into the figure too much, let's look at the base he comes with. This comes in two parts. This piece comes off, and you have to put it together, and it goes on right there, and it sits like that. And then it has the upright come out of the back, and you can hold the figure up here, and this part here, it just slides into his crotch right on that groove. And it doesn't like snap in or anything, so you don't have to worry about getting it on and having trouble getting it off. And that'll hold the figure up in a stylish way. You can put him in some cool action poses. So it has a nice stand. And the upright does have the 3 hinges on it. And it'll swivel here. Oops. It'll swivel. Get off of there. And it'll swivel obviously where you peg it in. And it'll swivel where you connect. Come on. Where you connect that. So this is actually a separate piece in the package, but that'll swivel where you connect it. So that's pretty nifty. I like that it came with its own base, especially one like that. He comes with 2 little dagger pieces, which are just some small knives, which look cool. They don't have any paint on them, but they're still cool. He has his 2 beam sabers. The handles, of course, peg in onto his backpack, and they're both the same. So let's take one out and put it on just so you can see. He's got nicely shaped. They're thicker at the bottom than at the front, and they're translucent, so that's pretty cool. Nice sabers there. He comes with 2 fists. He has a total of what, 7 hands, 8 hands, I think. Let's see, 2 fists, 2 open hands for just cool posing. Really nice sculpt work. I love the way they do that. Then he has a trigger finger hand and a sword holding hand for either side. I have 2 of them on the figure and 2 here, so lots of hands. He comes with a shield. It doesn't come assembled in the package. It comes with this piece separate, but this piece can just peg into his forearm there, his elbow there, or on the other side, and then it's just a standard ball peg that goes right there. So he's got the shield, which is cool, and he also has the gun, which has the folding handle for using 2 hands. So that's nice. So as you can see, this guy has a ton of stuff already, so I really didn't need the extra stuff. And like I said, this guy is a little bit better built and better painted than the new version. So like I said, it's good to get him. Let's take that off. And then he also has this backpack, which it pegs in to his back right there, pegs in right there, and those go over the shoulder. That's kind of cool. I like that. And it's also articulated, so that part can fold almost all the way down. And then this piece also has a hinge in it that lets it fold down. And these come separate in the package. You have to snap them on just like the shield. But they are also on ball hinges, so they are articulated as well. These have a little bit of articulation. They can fold down. They can't fold up. And I haven't seen the anime that this guy's from, if he's even from it. I think he is. I think he's from Gundam Seed, right? Isn't he? Does it say on the package? It doesn't. Yeah, it does. He's from Seed. So I need to watch that. So I don't know, maybe these don't fold up anymore, and that's okay. But I do wish they could, just so it would look cool. But either way, it's a really nice piece. Lots of different colors of molded plastic, and it is painted where it should be as far as I can tell. So really cool. Lots of good stuff. Like I said, this guy's loaded with accessories even on this original version. So you don't really need any more, I think. Although, if you really like accessories, get the Perfect Strike. All right, let's look at the actual figure. Oh, while I'm here, I can point this out. When you're taking this shield piece out, don't just yank on it because it does snap in and you could break it. What you probably should do is just push it in the same direction as the arm, and that way it'll pull out without breaking anything, hopefully. It does snap in pretty tight. Of course, I can't do it now. It's how I did it earlier. Get your thumb in there, and hopefully... Nope, not gonna work. Okay. Why not? I'll show you why. See how that snaps in? It snaps in really strong. So if you just pull on this, it's a little risky. I don't know why it's not coming out now though. Probably because I have a camera on and I'm trying to show you. Oh, whatever, we'll leave it on. Be careful with that, guys. There's good warning for you. Don't just yank on that and break it. All right, so let's look at the figure. He stands about 5 1/4 inches tall to the top of his crown. Let's get this stuff out of the way so that the camera doesn't focus on it. So he's pretty much standard size for one of these guys, one of the robot Damashii figures. He's a little bit shorter than some of the newer ones, but he's definitely not excessively small, so that's fine by me. I was told that this original release of the figure sometimes had problems with the face. I don't see any problems. Maybe there's something not quite accurate on it. But it looks really good to me. I really like the design and the craftsmanship is good, so I have no problems with it. And the paintwork throughout the figure is pretty solid. I guess on the newer versions they have some bad paintwork for the silver parts, so this one's a little bit better. As far as the head articulation goes, you can see down in the neck, well hopefully you can, there's a ball hinge actually. So the gray part, that neck there is actually articulated and the head is on a ball peg on top of that. So really you get tons of range of motion for the head. And even though the Gundams are typically a little bit limited because of the sculpt, he's got really good range of motion and you shouldn't have too much trouble posing him at all. So that's a big bonus for me. The shoulder pads are hinged. You can see they just kind of snap in, and hopefully you can see that. Snap into the arm there, to the shoulder, and the shoulder is on a ball peg. You can't really see the socket, okay, but there is a socket. Maybe you can see it from this angle. Yeah, there's a socket in there, so the shoulder itself can peg around like that, and then there's a hinge built on top of it. So you have the hinge there, so full range of motion for the shoulder, and then of course the shoulder pad fits over the arm, so it doesn't get in the way. One thing I forgot to mention, so I'm going to add it in through the magic of video editing, is that the shoulder socket that I was showing you, and after it took me a second to point out to show it to you, I forgot to say it, it's actually hinged as well. So it can, let's see if I can get a good angle to show you, it actually comes forward like a butterfly joint to give you even better range of motion. So that is much appreciated. It's always nice when they add extra articulation, especially on a smaller figure like this. It really comes in handy, so I do like that, and it adds to the shoulder range of motion quite a bit. So that's really good. You have the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then the wrists are a ball hinge at the bottom, and then a ball peg where the hand actually connects. So pretty good range of motion. They're a little limited just from the sculpt, but you do get a pretty good range of motion out of them, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'd like this guy, and I think you'll like him too. The torso, he doesn't seem to have quite as much range of motion and articulation as the Extreme Gundam, but he does have some pretty nice articulation. He tucks in, the center part tucks in for the ab crunch, which helps maintain the look of the figure while posing it. He can lean back, and it'll just tuck in on the back as well. Doesn't have the, like I said, doesn't have the greatest range of motion, but it does work. And he does not have, as far as I can tell, too much of side-to-side motion. The Extreme Gundam could rock side-to-side up here. It looks like it technically has it between the blue and the red, but there's no range of motion as far as I can tell, so that's kind of a bummer. However, the white part where it connects it's on a ball peg, so you do get a little bit of that range of motion down there, and you do get the swivel, so that's pretty good. All of these skirt panels are on ball pegs, so they all can move pretty well. Of course, there is some limitation, but as you can see, they go pretty far out, so that's pretty nice. It allows for the hips to articulate just fine. Of course, you can turn them that way. And so now we can look at the hips. So they have the forward and backward motion on that swivel in there, and you can see the hinge, which allows for them to go to the side. He does come with pretty tight hips, so I would grease him up a little bit, slap some butter on there, and you'll be good to go. Don't really use butter though. Get some shock oil from the hobby shop for your RC cars and use that just a little bit, just a tiny little drop, and you should be good. That'll loosen that up. And then you can see here he has the thigh swivel, goes all the way around, which is super good. He has the double jointed knees. Again, if you know what the package is talking about on the back, let me know. But a really good range of motion for the knee, and then the knee pad itself is actually articulated as well to close that gap a little bit, so that's pretty nice. Always thinking, Bandai, always thinking. And then the ankles, I haven't looked too much at these yet, but I'm guessing they're pretty similar to the Extreme Gundam. The cover piece right here is on a ball peg on that gray piece, so it can move independently, so that is nice for filling in any gaps while you're posing him. The ankle itself, I'm thinking that's a ball peg. Yeah, there's a ball peg in the top that lets the whole ankle move around, swivel, and everything you want to do. And then there are actually some hinges down here which are for the foot. The front of the foot can hinge like that. Then there's also an ankle rocker built into there. So really good range of motion on these guys. Again, the engineering is so well done. You need to own one to see what it is. Because I mean, I knew they were built well, but ever since I got one, I have an extra appreciation for these guys. And even if you're used to collecting the high grade or master grade or whatever, the kits that you have to build, these guys are pretty darn nice to own. And you don't have to build them. Like for me, I don't have time to build kits since I'm always building figures anyway. So it's really nice to be able to just buy these and have them ready to go. Even though they are a little bit smaller, the fun factor and the detail and the engineering all makes up for it. So it's definitely a great figure, and I recommend it. Again, the newer version, the Perfect Strike, is a very similar figure. It is different though, so this review may not apply to it as far as the base figure goes, and it definitely doesn't for the accessories. If you want all that stuff, go ahead and get it. I mean, it's not a bad figure as far as I can tell. Like I said, I don't own it. But this one, you will see some benefits to this one's figure actually, even though the other one has the accessories. And this one is much cheaper, so that also plays into it. So there he is, guys. Looks awesome. Fun figure. And actually, believe it or not, you don't have to angle his feet too much to get him to stand up with his backpack. It's not that heavy to weigh him down too much. Let me get his feet flat at least, though, so that he has a good base. And there you go. Look, he's standing just about straight up with his backpack on. So that's a nice feature. A lot of figures can't handle that. Let's fold these down. I'll show you what it looks like. Get that down there. Bring these back. And there you go, with his wings out to this side. Really, really nice figure. I can't say how much I enjoyed opening it and playing with it. You will like this figure, so I do recommend it. Go get one. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.